Good morning, Judy. I was just thinking about you. Okay, welcome to Gentle Yoga with a Rain of Blessings. And today we'll be doing some hip openers. Welcome, Bindu. Um, so, I encourage you to take it easy and only go as far with your hips as your structures allow. So, just take it easy. Don't try to go farther than you normally can move your hips. Just settle into the poses. So we'll be taking pigeon as our peak pose today. So let's begin just in our seated position, and we'll take the arms up and overhead. Lift the heart and bring the palms to heart center. And then just close the eyes. Extend the spine. Find the natural curves of your spine and set an intention for your practice. Maybe just for yourself, just that to welcome yourself to the practice. And we'll flutter the eyes open and take 4-7-8 breath. So this is inhaling for the count of 4, hold for the count of 7, and exhale for the count of 8. And I'll do it the first time and then we'll take it on our own 2 more times. So breathe in and then exhale all the air out. And inhale 2, 3, 4, hold 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. On your own, inhale, hold, exhale. One more time. And again, flutter the eyes open. Bring the arms out to the side, up and overhead, and palms and hands down to the side. So let's just take the bottom of our feet together and just flutter the hips gently open and closed. And just butterfly. And then take the feet wider than hip distance apart. And with the palms down on the floor behind you, just turn the knees over to the right and inhale up. Exhale the legs to the left. Inhale to the top. Exhale to the right and bring the left knee inside the right foot. I'm going to move back onto my mat a little for the padding. And with the right hand behind, sweep the left arm up and over and lift the hips up for stargazer. Breathe here, pressing up through the right arm, lifting the hips a little higher. And then sweep the left arm back down and behind you. And then just take the windshield wipers left and right, and then left, and with, with the left arm behind, sweep the right arm up and over and lift the hips. Open the heart, gaze up at the stars, breathe, and come back down again. And we'll just take the legs over to the right one more time. And now we'll just turn and take a twisted cobra. So with both the left and the right hand evenly behind you, we're twisting, and you can press the left knee into the right, and then maybe just take the right arm down. I'm trying to show you here, parallel to your chest, and reach out with the left. And then bring it back into that twisted cobra again. And then we'll windshield wiper the legs again to the left and bring the right arm behind. And with the left arm, well, first just press up, extend the spine and twist. And then just take the left arm parallel with the chest and reach the right arm out for a more intense twist. And walk the hands back in, pressing into that twisted cobra. And then we'll come down, come back to the center and take the blanket. If you have a blanket, it's really helpful. And we'll unroll it a little bit so that it can be under our backs, and just take maybe one or two folds, little folds, just a couple of inches for under the neck. And then you can put the blanket underneath your back with the folded part under the neck, and then slowly come down onto your back. And maybe you want to adjust how many folds you have in the blanket just so that the neck is supported. And we'll take our hands to the belly and tent the knees together. Maybe take the feet a little wider than the hips so that the legs are very rested here. And then arms out in a T, and we'll just tip the right ear toward the right shoulder and then turn to gaze over the left arm. Turn to the left. Back to center. Left ear to left shoulder. Turn and gaze over the right arm. 2 more times in each direction. Right ear to right shoulder. Turn to the left. Back to center. Left ear to left shoulder. Turn to gaze over the right. Back to center. Right ear to right shoulder. Turn to the left. Back to center. Left ear to left shoulder. Turn to the right, and this time take the right hand and gently just lay it on the left side of your head, or maybe the ear, and just allow the weight of your hand to gently turn the neck even further. Releasing all the muscles in the shoulders and the neck here. And release the hand down, back to center, and right ear to right shoulder. turn to the left and take the left hand to the right side of the head. Just allow the weight of the hand to gently turn the neck a little further. Sometimes closing the eyes just allows more release. And back to center. And then we'll take some leg lifts here. So just draw the right knee to chest and bring the hands around the right knee and draw it in even further, maybe over towards the armpit, and then draw it in a little bit. If you'd like to extend your left leg, that can be even more of a hip opener. But you can keep your left knee bent or relaxed at any level you choose. And then bring the left leg in again and take the hands behind the right thigh and extend the right leg long and draw it in toward the chest. You can also do this with a strap. If you have a strap handy, you can place it around the ball mound of the foot and draw the leg in further. Keeping the lower back on the floor. And then take the strap in the right hand and draw the long right leg out to the side, to the right side, opening up the leg or propping that leg with the right elbow on the floor and the hand just above the knee or below the knee. Don't want to have it right on the knee because that puts too much pressure on the knee. And back up to center. And this can also be done with the left leg extended, probably better to extend the left leg and then draw the right leg across the body, just beyond the midline. It doesn't have to be very far here, but you feel the stretch through the outer right hip. And back up to center. And again, bring the left knee to the floor and we'll just take some single leg lifts and lowers. So inhale and lower the right leg almost to the floor, just maybe touching it without any weight. And then point the foot and exhale, bring the leg back up. Inhale, flex and lower. Exhale, point and lift. Long inhales and long exhales. So this is a slow motion. Inhale, flex and lower. Exhale, point and lift. And then bend the right knee and place the right ankle on the left knee for cradle and interlace the fingers behind the left thigh or the left shin. And if this is too much for your hips, you can always take a block under your left foot and just rest there and try to open the right hip gently with the right hand. So there's 3 levels: foot on the block, behind the hands behind the left thigh or behind the left shin, and open the hip with the right elbow or the right hand. Flex both feet here. That protects your knees. Keep breathing. And return the left foot to the floor, right foot to the floor. And we'll take all that on the left side. So if you have your strap or just interlace your fingers behind the left thigh, take the strap around the ball of the left foot and draw the leg, the whole leg, extended closer to the chest. You can extend the right leg as well and try to relax through the hips and the lower abdomens to allow this opening of the hips. Breathe deeply into the belly. And then take the strap or the side of your left leg with your hand and open it up to the left. Extend the right leg on the floor, or you can have a slight bend in that knee. And breathe. Drawing the left leg back up. Take the strap in the right hand, left arm out to the side, and cross the midline of the body, just, 6 to 12 inches. Try to keep the left hip on the floor, so we're not really going that far, but you'll feel the stretch in the outer left hip. Just allow that opening, breathing into it. And bring that left leg up to center again. Bend the left knee. Place the right foot on the floor. Cross the left leg. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot the leg lift. So with the right foot on the floor and the left leg extended, flex the foot and inhale, lower the left leg almost to the floor. Point, exhale, lift. Flex, inhale, lower. Point, exhale, lift. Continue on your own for 2 more times. Using the length of your breath. And then when you've finished, place the left ankle on the right knee and take whatever cradle you did on the first side, whether the right foot is on the block or you interlace behind the thigh or the shin, and then pry the left hip open, the left leg open more, using your left elbow or your left hand, both feet flexed, and breathe. And return the right foot to the floor, the left foot to the floor, and unroll the blanket from under the neck. And we'll just draw the knees into the chest. You can cross the ankles and maybe take hold of the back of the thighs. And we'll take some rolls on our back. Just roll back and forth along the spine until we roll all the way up and come over the legs and turn around and face the front of your mat. And we'll come to cats and cows. All fours. Inhale into cow and exhale cat. Inhale cow and exhale cat. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Really arching the spine. And then return to a neutral spine on all fours. And extend the left leg back. Press into the toes. And stretch the back of the left leg. Breathe. Using the arm strength And draw the shoulders away from the ears here. Then lift the left leg to hip height. And now we'll do something a little bit different. Bend the knee and make a C shape all the way out to the left. And it comes into the left elbow and then back. Long exhale, knee to elbow, but making that C shape. So we're coming out to the side with the left leg. Back and long. And left leg, left elbow, and come back. And lower the left knee to the floor. And extend the right leg long. Pressing back, breathing into the entire length of the back leg. Feeling the calf muscles relaxing, stretching, opening, using the strength of the arms. And then lift the right leg to hip height and bend the knee and make that C shape and bring the right knee to right elbow. And back, right knee to right elbow. And open. And one more time, right knee to right elbow. And open. And return the right knee to the floor. And just sit back for one breath into child's pose. Extended child's pose with your arms long on the floor. And rise back up to all fours and tuck the toes and come into down dog. Pedal the feet out slowly with the breath. Rise up onto the toes, lift the hips way up high, and then release the heels down toward the mat. And then we'll come out into plank pose for 3 breaths. And then if you'd like to bring your right knee down behind the right hand to tip over into a side plank, or you can just tip over onto the side of your feet and lift the left arm up. And breathe. Maybe even gazing up at the left arm. It's a balance challenge. And bring the left arm back down to the floor, back to plank, and tip over onto your left knee or the side of your feet. Left side plank. Breathe. Keep the hips lifted, shoulders away from the ears. Maybe even gazing up at the right hand. The whole palm pressing into the floor. And bring the right arm down. And this time, wide knees, as wide as the mat. And sink the hips back into child's pose. And rising back up. Bring the knees back under the hips. And tuck the toes and come back just into a toe stretch here. Pressing with the hands, opening the toes, spreading the toes as much as possible, and stretching the whole bottom of the feet. And then rounding the spine, coming back up to all fours. Tuck the toes again and lift the hips. And this time we're going to come right into our pigeon pose. So step the left foot a little bit closer to the right, lift the right leg up in the air, and draw the right knee in and over near the right hand. And the right foot is open to the left side of the mat. Now, this is where I really find a block necessary, or the blanket, or the block and the blanket, and I place it under my right thigh. And then you can tuck the left toes and lengthen the left leg back and extend the foot. And then just supporting yourself on your arms, puff the chest up and gaze up, releasing the weight into the blanket or block, and breathe deeply and slowly. Try to imagine that breath going all the way into the hips. And if you'd like to walk your arms out, you can come down onto your elbows and forearms and have a little bit different opening here. Of course, the goal, and then press back up into the arms. The goal is eventually to have the shin parallel with the front of the mat. I've been working toward that for years, and I'm still working, still working at it. Draw the the left knee behind the right knee. And we're coming into Gomukhasana here, cow face pose. So take the block and place it right under the buttocks to sit on. And again, if you need two blocks so that your knees are centered on the mat and stacked one over the other, flex the feet. And then we'll take our arms into that stretch. And if you would like to use a strap, then that's perfectly fine. Eileen also recommends a small washcloth, but I don't have that available. So you can just sort of take the end of the strap and put it over your shoulder and take your right hand back behind the back and catch hold of the strap and the left arm overhead, and either taking the strap with both hands, you can pull, or if you're able to interlace the fingers, and then straighten the neck and look directly in front of you. So you kind of press the head into the left arm with the neck just aligned directly over the spine. And breathe here. And release the arms or release the strap. And we'll take our little magic trick where we kind of come forward and tuck the toes and lift the knees off the floor and walk your hands around to the left, turning the legs. Keep walking. We're going whole 360 degrees around. And when you come back to the front, lower your right knee to the floor and your left knee is centered on top of it, and then sit back again onto the block. And now we're in the other cow face pose. So if you used the strap before, you can use the strap again for your arms. So take the left arm behind the back. I like to use my right hand to sort of bring the left arm where I want it to get it ready, and then reach overhead with the right hand and take the strap or interlace the fingers. And then recenter the neck and look straight ahead and breathe. And release the arms. And maybe even shake the arms out a little bit. Shake the hands, release, and come forward. And we're going to come right into our pigeon on the left side. So bring the left foot to the right side of the mat behind the right hand. And make sure you have your block or your blanket, whatever you used before. Maybe you even need more support on the other side. And place that block under the thigh. I have it like halfway between my buttocks and my knee so that it's more supportive. And then tuck the right toes and extend the right leg back. Lift the heart and the gaze. I even come up onto my fingertips to really open up and feel that release in the hips. Keep breathing, trying to settle into the pose. And then walk the hands forward. You can also bring your elbows onto a block if this doesn't work. I like to have my arms just on my forearms, resting on my elbows, but keep the shoulders away from the ears. There's a tendency to hunch here. And keep pressing up out of the arms. And we'll rise back up onto the hands and take the left leg back. Remove the block or the blanket and on all fours, tuck the toes, come back to down dog. Maybe pedal the feet out one more time just to give the hips some release. And then we'll take the left foot again closer to the right, lift the right leg up in the air, open the hip and bend the knee. Keep the shoulders parallel with the mat, facing straight down, even as you're twisting and opening the right hip, and make circles with your right ankle. 3 in each direction. And then we'll recenter the hips and draw the right knee in and make space and step the right foot forward and turn the left heel down aligned with the right heel for warrior 2. So then windmill the arms right up and we'll take warrior 2. You can extend your stance a little more, but really strengthen the left leg as you sink down and bend the right knee. Arms directly front and back. Keep the legs strong and breathe here. And then straighten the right leg and take the left hand inside the left thigh and the right arm overhead, radiant triangle, which we'll then just take into our normal triangle. So the chest is as much toward the side wall as possible. Both legs are long and strong. Reach out with the right hand as long as you can. Keep that right hip tucked under the left And then bring the right hand. I like to use the back of my right hand against the inner right leg. Wherever that is for you, it can be just, part way down, whatever works for you today. And it can be different on different days. This is a hip opener too, triangle. Keep breathing here, extending through both sides of the torso. And the right arm is up and overhead. Try not to collapse down toward the floor. And then rising back up again. Bend the right knee and lightly place the right elbow on the right knee. And the left arm, place it just straight along your left side. And feel that your hips are sinking down and that you're making one long line from your left shoulder to your left heel. And then bring the left arm up and over. And now it's left hand to left heel. One long line, side angle pose. And windmill the arm up and over and straighten the right leg. Turn the feet to the long edge of the mat. And take the hands to the hips for a wide leg first back bend. So the hands are on the back of the hips. Lift the heart up. Lift the gaze up. Keep the hips over the legs. And just take the head back as far as you comfortably can. And then take the hips back and hinging at the hips, slide the hands down the sides of the legs, extending the spine through the crown of the head. And don't go any farther than you can while keeping your spine long and keeping the natural curves. And then when you've reached that point that works for you, release the neck and the head. You can shake the head no and nod yes, and then just allow the head to dangle like a grape from the vine. And then place the hands under the shoulders, and we'll take the right arm, place the left hand under the face, and open the right arm out to the right in a twist. Open it up and lower the right arm. And now turn to the back of the mat. Feet are aligned for warrior two again. And bend the left knee and windmill up into warrior two. So the heels are aligned. Strengthen the back right leg, and sink down into the left leg. Arms reaching forward and backward, reaching and opening across the chest. Gaze forward over the left arm. Even wiggle your fingers here. See if you can get more length. Keep breathing. Draw the left hip under the right. Straighten the left leg and bring the right hand inside the right thigh and lift the left arm up and overhead. Radiant triangle. Both legs long and strong. And then we'll come right into our triangle on this side, reaching forward with the left arm, really opening the chest to the side wall. And then wherever your hand comes inside the left leg, then you can lift the right arm up. Keep drawing the left hip under the right. This helps lengthen both sides of the torso as well. And maybe even gaze up at the right hand if you feel steady. And then bend the left leg and gently place the left elbow on the left knee. Take the right arm along the right side of the body, turn and open. And when you find that you're making one straight line from the right shoulder to the right heel, draw the right arm up and over and reach. All the way from the right heel to the right fingertips. Wiggle your fingers. Reach, stretch, breathe. And open the arm up, straighten the left leg, quarter turn to the long edge, and interlace your fingers this time. And draw the hands and the arms away from the back and open the chest and gaze up, and then hinging at the hips, forward bend, slowly coming down, lifting the arms away from the back, and then release the neck and the head. Strong legs, really extending the spine. So the bend is all in the hips. We're not rounding the spine here. Breathe and release the hands and toe heel in about till the heels are about 2 feet apart and the toes are pointed out. And then horseshoe the hands over the knees, bend the knees deeply, and rise up for goddess pose. And shift from side to side a little bit, dancing goddess. Maybe you can sink a little lower. Maybe you have to open your feet a little farther away from each other to find a good goddess, or bring them in closer, whatever works. Find your goddess. And then straighten the legs, straighten the arms, reaching out, 5-pointed star, even reaching through the crown of the head. And then turn the left toes forward and sort of step the right leg in to where your weight is over the left leg. Point the right toes and maybe you can lift the right leg off the floor. Starfish. And we'll come right down onto the right leg, bring the weight rooting down through the right leg, point the left toes, and lift the left leg. Find an unmoving point to gaze at. And maybe your balance isn't great today. You can always keep your left toe on the floor. And then bring both legs together. And we'll step off the mat for a couple more balance poses. Today we'll take King Dancer. So find your left arm on, or your left fingertips on the wall or the back of a chair, any piece of furniture, and bend the right leg, catch the outside of the right ankle, and draw the heel to the buttocks and the knees together. And just breathe here for a moment. Then pressing the right foot into the right hand, you can begin to tip forward and slide the left fingertips along the wall or forward of the chair, maybe even releasing the wall, gazing at the floor in front of you. Keep pressing the foot into the hand. And rising back up. We'll cross the right leg over the left and kickstand the toes on the floor, and then take the right arm under the left and wrap them around each other. And then lift the elbows up and away. Lift the arms, lift the gaze, sink the hips down even further. Bending at the hips, bending at the knees, lifting the arms up, squeezing everything into the midline. Breathing. Don't forget to breathe. And unraveling everything, shake it out. We'll come right to the other side. So find your right hand on your wall or the chair or whatever, rooting down through the right leg really strongly. Spread the right toes. And then take the left ankle with the left hand and draw the heel to the buttocks and have the knees close together. Just for a couple of breaths here. Feeling the stretch in the quadriceps. And then walking, pressing the right foot into the right hand first, and then tipping forward just a little bit. It doesn't have to be very far. And just comfortable with the neck, gaze at the floor, and maybe you can release the arm from the wall. It really helps to press that left ankle into the left hand for stability. And rising back up again, cross the left leg over the right and kickstand the left foot on the floor, bending deeply in the knees and the hips. Left arm under right, wrap the arms around till the palms are together, or if that doesn't work, the backs of the hands are together. And then lift the arms and the gaze up, stretching the arms. Squeezing everything into the midline. And release. And shake it out. We'll come back to the mat. So with the feet about hip distance apart in the middle of your mat, take the arms up overhead and swan dive forward. We'll take a forward bend here, another forward bend. This time with the hips closer together, the legs closer together. And take hold of the back of your legs with your hands. That can be at the calves, the ankles, or maybe even the heels. But the idea is the spine is very long and it's plastered onto the thighs. And your knees can be very deeply bent or You can begin to straighten them, and you can begin to straighten them. Breathing here. Now, release your legs with your hands and spread your toes very purposefully. I'm even using my fingers to spread my toes out as far as I can get them. And then lower the hips down, the heels lift off the floor, and we're coming to toe stand. So you may need your feet closer together than they were, so just, adjust as you need to. Spread those toes out, and then find your toe stand. Now you can keep the fingertips on the floor, and once you feel stable, maybe you can bring your hands to your knees or your palms to heart center and breathe. And release the hands down and sit back onto the floor and extend the legs long in front of you. We'll take a staff pose. So pull the buttocks, the flesh of the buttocks out from under. And then with the hands right next to the hips. And the legs are very firm and the feet are flexed. Then pressing with your arms, lifting up and lower the chin toward the chest, but the chest is rising toward the chin as well. And breathe here. You can engage the base of the pelvic floor in Mula Bandha here as well. Squeezing in. And release the weight. Take the left leg out toward the left side of the mat and bring the right foot to the inner left thigh. Bending the right knee deeply for Janu Shirshasana. So then turn the torso directly centered over the left leg and walk the hands forward with a long spine, hinging at the hips, bringing the chest toward the leg and the eyes and the face toward the foot. Keep the foot straight up and then maybe take hold of your calf or your shin. You can keep the left hand on the floor to kind of press back, keeping that opening and centering. Or you can take both hands around the foot. Keep extending through the crown of the head, feeling the length of the spine. Breathe the entire length of the spine. And then walk the hands back in. And then we'll take the right leg directly out. Let's take a wide leg forward bend here. So bring the legs as wide as you can, and even with the hands on the floor behind, you can even sort of press the hips forward a little bit more. See how far apart you can get your legs. I'm not going to dictate what works for you because I can barely get them to 45 degrees, much less 90. And then again, walk your hands out along the legs, keeping the long spine, flat back, and can pull on your legs a little bit with the hands, hinging at the hips. Release the tension in the belly. Breathe into the belly. There's room for it here. And rising back up again. And now we'll just bring our right leg in a little bit onto the mat and take the left foot inside the right thigh and turn toward the right leg and walk the hands forward. Take hold of the right leg or foot, extending through the crown of the head and hinging at the hips. And rising back up again. Bring both feet to the floor, hips center of the mat. Take hold of the backs of the thighs and just round the spine down onto the mat. And we haven't really done an inversion yet today, so we'll just pick a half shoulder stand and draw the knees into the chest and lift the hips. Scoop them up with your hands and straighten the legs. So the torso makes one angle with the floor and the legs make kind of the opposite angle so that the feet come directly over the face. Very comfortable here. And once you feel steady and supported, allow the eyes to close and breathe into the deep belly. And then allow the legs to tip overhead. The feet may or may not come to the floor and plow. Release the hips with the hands and take the arms to the floor underneath you and roll the spine down and allow the legs to slowly come down toward the floor. And then stretch the feet towards front corners of the mat and arms open up with the palms up to the side and tip the both feet toes towards each other and then allow the feet to flop open and close the eyes and come directly into Shavasana, allowing the breath to come and go like a natural phenomenon that it is, like the waves of the ocean. And just focus your attention on your breath, turning inward. And now just gently move your fingers and your toes and stretch the arms up overhead. If you'd like to stay here in Shavasana, that's perfectly fine. I'll log us out You can stay in Shavasana as long as you'd like. Otherwise, stretch your arms up overhead and gently roll onto your right side, drawing the knees in. If it's morning, left side. If it's evening, take a breath here and then very gently press yourself up into a seated position. Find your blanket to sit on the edge of the blanket. We'll draw the arms up and overhead, palms touch, and touch the thumbs to the forehead. Think well. Lips, speak well. And heart, love well. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste.